And now, I shall resurrect Slifer the Sky Dragon!
Oh man, he just brought back an Egyptian god!
Slifer's attack points are determined by the number of cards in my hand. And since I'm holding 4, he now has 4,000 points!
Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac. Guys, I've been waited so long for this deck to be next on the row, because the deck as well as this duelist, or rather both combined together, are the most underrated Raffael especially is the most underrated player in all of Duel Monsters after my stance. He defeated Atem and Yugi in the first duel that he had. In the second duel, he just gave sort of up, you might say. So it was also very much even. It was really the first one of duelists that shook Yugi and Atem, but especially Atem to its core. Not even Kaiba managed to do that. So yeah, after my opinion, this one is the most powerful duelists next to Yugi and Atem, or maybe equally. But there is something we have to discuss this, because the duels, of course, are very much scripted, and in both duels he pulled very much those cards that he had to pull, but how should I say it? In order to make it a little bit playable, this is my first version, so like it is a, you might say, anime TCG version, because I mixed those cards up. In order to build a TCG version, I have to take those cards out, because there are just anime exclusives in there. So Raffael, what can I say? His background is really tragic, because he was one of the most rich kids probably on Earth in the series, and had everything he had, but then was on a big ship, traveling to the sea, into the sea, or traveling by sea along with his parents and friends, and all of a sudden a storm came, which then led all of them taken over by the sea. The ship was sinking, and Raffael was the only survivor on an island. Little bit reminds me on the Castaway, but yeah, just with Duel Monsters. We of course know that by now that it was Dartz who did it on purpose, with the power of the great Leviathan, in order to make Raffael hate the humanity, and then as he had him that far triggered and manipulated, then he called out to him and finally revealed the island coming from the sea, namely Atlantis, and then lured him into his group, and you might say opened his eyes, but in reality, of course, he just intoxicated his poison content into Raphael's mind. The people are evil and greedy, and just greedy and evil. But the stone orichalcos made that worse, you might say, in reality. Whereas Dartz proclaims that people were becoming evil, or becoming evil by themselves, and the orichalcos just unfolds that very fact. So about the deck now, finally Raffael then turns after Atem opens his eyes in reality. By the way, I have to state something, because we're getting the very card now in the, I don't know how it's called, selection. It's a set that's coming out currently in the OCG, and I think next year in the TCG. And then there's limiter an underworld circle in the very card, which kind of sets the stage for Raphael to turn on Dartz and finally see with his own eyes clearly that the Dartz was manipulating and influencing him badly all along. And yeah, a cool card, by the way. It's very broken for the meta, but I think it's great. Well, maybe if you're limited on one, it would be great too. So now about his deck. So it's Raphael's deck has a significant amount of monsters consisting of guardian monsters. And in order to play those, we need very many equip spell cards. But I have to say another thing and reveal it to you guys, because in the anime series he's got backup Gardener, which he always draws, so we can like maybe assume he had it maybe 3 times in his deck, but in the TCG it doesn't exist. So I made some additions. Of course, I also have the anime card of the backup Gardener in here. But other than that, I made some additions. Monsters as well as spell cards, I think. And this one will be the anime version, anime version of version 1, because I'm made, of course, one version that will be having the best possibility, after my view, to make it playable in the reality, but with anime cards. And the second version, maybe I take them all out and then we'll try it with just, you might say, with just cards that just existing in TCG. So I have to take many out, but yeah, that's what we do. We do have also possess some TCG exclusive guardians, which also work with that effect. And I also added them because we just get to see, I think, 5 guardian monsters in total in the anime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough, and I didn't want to make 2 or 3 of, so I did let them out. Took the 3 anime support cards that we got in the TCG, and also made out some other additions which we might need. But still, I didn't make it as just 14 monster cards. It could still be enough. The most important thing in that very deck are spell cards, because he uses really, really many spell cards. Of course, a couple of amount are his equip spell cards, which are important, but the others, yeah, are helping the strategy to come into play. And also, like I said, I made some additions as well. So let us just dive into it, and then we discuss the whole shenanigans. So first off, I have the anime support card Guardian Bao, or Bao. I don't know how to spell it. B-A-O-U. A dark attribute of 4 stars, fiend type monster with 800 attack and 400 defense, resembling a little bit the dark theme in Raphael's deck, because Raphael kind of got the light theme and a dark theme, both topics mixed up in his deck to mirror his light and his dark side. And this enemy support card kind of, is representing more his dark side. So it got 800 attack and 400 defense. Cannot be summoned just by you controlling one bow. I think they are called torrential flame burst wounds of torrential flame burst. If this card destroys one monster due to battle and put it to the graveyard, it gets 1000 attack. And you can also negate the effect of monsters that are destroyed by battle by this card. Then the other anime support card is Guardian Trice. Light attribute, resembling its light side, you might say then. Light attribute, 5 stars. Thunder effect, 1900 attack, 1700 defense. Also cannot be summoned. Normally just can be summoned in order if you control Trice, Twin Sword of Flashing Light. And if this card is destroyed and brought to the graveyard, you can summon the monster from the graveyard that has been used for tribute summoning this one, because it also needs one tribute because in order, like it's got 5 stars, so it's one tribute, and that very monster you are able to bring back. Then another third enemy support card, which is Guardian Seal, which got it was just in fire type, 4 stars, pyro, fire attribute. Sorry, always mixing those two up. Pyro type, 1700 attack, 1400 defense. Of course, 4 stars. Then cannot be summoned unless you control a face-up shooting star bow seal. You can send an equipped spell card you control that is equipped to this card graveyard to target one monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. So good destruction measure in here. It's got a good recycling measure, and this one and attack boosting engine. Then 3 cards, which is a little bit, you might say, developed for that purpose, in order to like help the whole theme to become more playable, which is Arsenal Summoner. 4 stars, wind attribute, a spellcaster type monster with 1600 attack, 1600 defense. It's got a flip effect. Select one card that includes Guardian, its card name from your deck, and add it to your hand. You can select Celtic Guardian, Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, number 1 Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, number 2 Guardian of the Labyrinth, all reliable Guardian. So like it's really just alluding to that Guardians which Raffael got in his deck. And of course you have to have this as a 3-off in here, because it's very essential in the core strategy to this deck to get cards which have something with Guardian. You can also of course then get those monsters in there. Then we have Guardian Kiest, the first Guardian monster that we saw him playing out. Water type, water attribute, 4 stars, Sea Serpent type, 1000 attack, 1800 defense, very strong defense. This card cannot not be normal, flip, or special summon. This can only be normal, flip, or special summon if how is it called? Emblem of Silence, I think. Silency? I have it in here, sorry. Rod of Silence. Rod of Silence, Kiest. And this card is unaffected by any spell cards and cannot be targeted as an attack target by monsters of your opponent. A little bit like Legendary Fisherman along with Yumi or Legendary Ocean. That's a very cool effect. Then I have in here Guardian Elma. I think they played this one out in the second duel. Wind attribute, 3 stars, a fairy type, 1300 attack, 1200 defense. This card can only be normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned when there is a butterfly dagger Elma on your side of the field. When this card is summoned successfully, you can select one appropriate equip spell card in your graveyard and equip it to this card. So, of course, another of those supporting engines for other Guardian monsters, which is in here. Then I put some monsters in here before we get to the final 3 Guardians that he all played out. One is Banisher of Light, light type, 3 stars, fairy type, attribute fairy type, 1600 attack and 0 defense, and its effect works like that. As long as this card remains face up on the field, every card that is brought onto the graveyard has been banished instead. So he has very much a graveyard engine in this deck, and I will reveal it to you later on, guys. That's why this card is so good. And of course, it's a light attribute, so you could say that it's a little bit it's a reference to the good light side of Raphael. So, Backup Gardener, of course, it's an enemy exclusive card. Like I said, this is the first version. So, Dark Attribute 4 stars, a warrior type, 500 attack, awesome 2200 defense. And in fact, works like that. You can select an equipped card on the field and equip it to another appropriate target on the field. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, you can discard one card to negate the attack. So, very strong. It's a very strong protective measure, and is also helping that equip spell engine, which we need in here, of course. But like I said, this one is a TCG exclusive, an enemy exclusive. I don't know why still, but yeah, it is. So I made some additions. I gave him Gear Golem, the Moving Fortress, Earth Attribute 4 stars, Machine Type, 800 attack and 2200 defense. Once per turn you give your main phase, you can pay 800 life points. This card can attack your opponent directly this turn. But also with that defensive measure, because what Raphael did is he always played Backup Gardener face down, and then if it was attacked with 2200 defense, it was very much holding off your opponent with his due to his defense stats, and if the attack stats of the opponent were bigger than the defense stats, then still its effect is in there. You can discard one card and negate an attack. So yeah, once per turn I think even it is. Yeah, you can no whenever, even it's not the once per turn effect. You can really whenever. Then I put a Soul Tiger in here. Earth Attribute 4 stars, Beast, normal type 0 attack, but 2100 defense. Got 3 of those mechanics in here in order to help build a good defense, and then maybe wait or stall until we get our equipped spell cards and or our guardian monsters together, and then play them out. So next up is one of his favorite monsters of Raphael, which is Guardian Grawl. It very much dominates those two duels. Earth Attribute 5 stars, 2500 attack, 1000 defense, and dinosaur type. Cannot not be summoned unless you control a face-up Gravity X Grawl. This is the only card in your hand. You can special summon it from your hand. So very cool. Of course, you also need another equipped spell card for this one. But now you might say peak climax of his dark side cards, which Dartz gave to him, which is Guardian Dreadskite and Dark Attribute 8 stars, Infinite type monster with 2500 attack and 2000 defense. By the way, this is first edition, guys. Haha. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be summoned by its own special summoned by its own effect, and cannot be special summoned by any other way. If a Guardian Iados is destroyed by battle or a card effect and put to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card has been special summoned, you can equip this card with a Dreadskite from your deck. This card cannot be. You cannot normal summon or special summon any monsters, but you can set them. If this card is brought to the graveyard, you can discard one card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, you can special summon this card. A little bit like the effect from the card in the duel, but it was like that. You have to discard one card and it's not be destroyed, so it's pretty much the same. So now the absolute favorite card from Raphael is this one that is now a little bit covered up by the cards that I have, which is Guardian Iados. He loves this card, really, like it would be his protecting mother or sister or something like that. Very close. Wind Attribute, 8 stars, Fairy type, 2500 attack and 2000 defense. This is his, you might say, Guardian Angel, really, pretty much, protecting him all the time. and its effect works like that because it's his most strong card actually. Beside this one, of course. This one is, you might say this one is even stronger in attack wise, but yeah. So after my opinion at least, but you can judge it for yourself. If you don't have no monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So of course the Banish of Light also isn't there, so that you, if a monster goes to the graveyard, it's banished instead. If you have no monsters in graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can send one equip spell card equipped to this card to the graveyard to select and remove from play up to 3 monsters in your opponent's graveyard. This card gains 500 attack for each monster removed by this effect until the end phase. So of course, if you remove 3, it gets like 1,500. But there was no limit to it in the anime, so you could remove any number of monsters, and then its attack went up 500 for each, and then I don't know, it was less like there were 6 monsters in his graveyard from Atem, and then it went up to 5,000, I think, or 5,500, something like that, and he then completely annihilated Atem. So Guardian Gyarados is really much a powerful monster to have, of course. Also, even in the TCG would say it's a powerful monster, but not that powerful like it was in the anime. I would wish that they had this like that in there, but they didn't. So unfortunately, they're getting a little bit braver now because Underworld Circle has really much this same effect like it has in the anime. I love that. Why not? They should do that with all. You can limit it to 1, but still I would do it. So guys, you can take a picture if you want, because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's get into the spell cards that he had, because the spell lineup is really big. The average of spell cards that I would put in a deck would be around, I don't know, 12 to 16 cards at the maximum. But in this deck there are really like, I don't know, 20 spell cards because it's very essential. But I also gave him, of course, some additions. So I gave him 1 Dark Hole in order to destroy all monsters on the field. As a last ditch effort, because Raffael was very much someone who wanted to protect his monsters and not destroy them, but if there's another way, or maybe he doesn't have any monsters on the field, then you can play Dark Hole, destroy all the monsters on the field. My Body has a shield, which was, I think, shown in his hand. When your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or a monster effect that would destroy a monster on the field, except during the damage step, pay 1,500 life point and negate the activation if you do destroy it. He had a couple of cards in here in order to protect his monsters and keep them alive, you might say. He had 1 Shrink, which very much saved his butt during the first duel, because if he hadn't, I think Atem used Catapult Turtle and then put effect damage by sacrificing the Dark Magician Girl, and he halved it with Shrink, otherwise he would have lost the duel. Of course, it halves the attack points of an opponent's monster. It's a quick spell card, as well as this one is also a quick spell card. Then the first anime spell card, which I have in here, Rescuer from the Grave. Pretty much working like Electromagnetic Turtle. While this card is in your grave, and when your opponent the monster declares an attack, you can move from play 5 cards from your graveyard to negate the attack in the anti-battle phase. So it pretty much helps our removing monsters from the graveyard, or cards at all, I think. Yeah. And then you can end the battle phase immediately, and then also we have empty graveyard, because this is very essential. Then we have also self-tribute, another of those strategies in order to like protect his monsters. It's a quick play spell card, another anime card, anime exclusive, I mean. Activate only if 1 or more of your monsters would be destroyed. Pay 1,000 life points, that monsters cannot be destroyed this turn. I think he played it out with Guardian Growl. And yeah, but self-tribute is for not just for 1 monster, but for monsters. Then Guardian Shield. I think a card which he played out in the second duel. It's an equipped spell card, equipped only to guardian monsters. The equipped monsters gains 1000 defense. If a monster you control would be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. So, another protective armor, you might say. Of course, he got one monster reborn with the alternate art. One monster needed to play graveyard, special summon it. Okay, I guess he played it out against. Oh, which card did he get back? I'm not sure anymore. Oh, whatever. Okay, so next up is Aid to the Doomed, a card which I would wish that we also would get in the TCG as well as the other ones as well. But it's a quick spell card, a hand trap. You can activate this card from your hand during your opponent's turn. Activate only when a monster you control was destroyed this turn. Send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard to end the turn. Not that bad of a card. With the cost of 2 cards discarding, I think that you could pretty much get this in the TCG without a problem at all. So another one of those anime exclusives. Now we are coming pretty much to the equip spell cards. Not all of them, but most of them. The first is Butterfly Dagger Alma. Of course, the one in order to get our Guardian Alma onto the field. Monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 300 points. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while equipped to the monster, this card can be returned to the owner's hand. I think this is one of the reasons why it's banished or banned until now in the meta, because you can discard one card and return it to the hand. Then I have one Rod of Silence Kiest for Guardian Kiest. Of course, a monster equipped with this card increases its defense by 500 points. Negate the effect of a spell card, excluding this card. That specifically designed it's a monster equipped with this card as a target and destroy it. So helping a little bit that spell card engine, which Guardian Kiest already has. Then Grawl, Gravity Axe Grawl. The equipped monster gets 500 attack. Monsters that your opponent controls cannot change their battle positions. Very good. Then Dreadskite. Equip just Guardian Dreadskite with this card. Gets 500 attack for each monster in both players' graveyards. I think it's called in English Divine Sword or Heavenly Sword or something like that. Iados. Of course, the very wonderful Guardian Iados. But in the TCG they also have this card. This card can also be treated as a Noble Knight card, but yeah, that doesn't bother us at all. The equipped monster gets 500 attack of this card, but is brought from the field to the graveyard. You can choose one Guardian Iados that you control. It gets 500 attack for each banished monster. So it's pretty much the combination of those 2 cards that make the anime effect of Guardian Iados. The Divine Sword Iados and the Guardian Iados effect together. So yeah, we go. Then we do have another 2 of those anime support Guardian equipped spell cards. Trice, twin sword Trice of the flashing light. Discard one card from your hand to the graveyard. Equip one monster with this card. It loses 500 attack, but it can attack twice in a row during the battle phase. Bau of Wounds of the Torrential Flamberge. Discard one card from your hand to the graveyard and choose one monster on the field. Equip this card. With this card, it gets 500 attack. Negate the effect of monsters of your opponent that have been destroyed due to battle with the equipped monster. So there we go. you just have to watch. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equipped spell cards in total, which make that deck very difficult to play because they're essential in order to break our guardians out. But there is a tricky thing behind all of that, because you cannot summon the guardians, but you can set them before you have any of the equipped spell cards. But in order to flip summon or special summon or normal summon them, you have to have the specific equipped spell cards, but you can still set them without those. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Then one card from the McDonald's pack, a rare Mist Body. I think we also saw this card in his hand. An equipped spell card, once equipped with this card, cannot be destroyed as a result of battle, but damage calculation is applied normally, so also a protective effect. Good defensive posture, you might say. Swords of Revealing Light, very essential to this deck in order to stall for 3 rounds. Your opponent cannot attack. We have one Monster Reincarnation with that artwork. Of course, Monster Reincarnation also exists in the TCG, but I thought to have this one with this cool artwork. Konami, please bring this card with this artwork out as lost art, but also all the other anime cards from Raffael. I would love it. Soul Charge. This was pretty much the card with which he defeated himself, you might say, because Atem and him, they had to stand still against each other. It was back and forth. But Soul Charge also is a recycling effect, which helps you get all the monsters from your graveyard. And for each monster, you got to pay 1,000 life points. And you cannot conduct any battle phase during that turn. Then the 2 last ones. So one addition that I made was Pot of Generosity, because also it works like that. You can choose 2 cards in each player's graveyard. Yeah, or one of you, or one of two, or 2 of you, or 2 of him. Yeah, shuffle it into the deck, and yeah, that's all. And then this card, instead of being brought to the graveyard, is banished from play, so also helping that engine, and also helping your graveyard to get empty. Because there's still another anime exclusive card which I really much would like to be in the TCG as well, which is Purity of the Cemetery. Looks kind of a Raffael. It's a continuous spell card. Activate only if you have no monsters in your graveyard. You can each play standby phase. Inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each monster in your opponent's graveyard. If there's a monster card in your graveyard, destroy this card. This card can only be destroyed by its own effect. Very strong. Cannot be destroyed by Magical Space Typhoon, Harvest Feather Dust, or Heavy Storm. So that working with those other cards, very great. So there are a couple of other spell cards which I let out because I wanted to have my best version mixed with those anime cards. I will give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You might pause it, take a picture, and then we get into the trap cards, which are pretty much, I think, anime exclusives. Yeah. Like I already mentioned, I would be doing a then pure TCG version. If I do it right now or maybe later on, I don't know. Because even as the orichalcos arc is finished, I made up my mind. Maybe I will make another version, the pure TCG version, after this, because it's not necessary to make a pure TCG version, but I did one version, so yeah, you cannot complain really. Limit Tribute, I think this card would also be great in the TCG. It's a continuous trap card. Both players can only tribute 1 monster per turn. A very good blocking stall engine for you. Maybe if your opponent is on the offense and has a good strong monster lineup on board. Crystal Seal, also in continuous trap. You see, I think Timaeus in here, or is it the Dark Magician Girl, something like that. Select one face monster your opponent controls. That monster cannot attack, be tributed, change its battle position, activate its effects, or be selected as an attack target. If your opponent controls no other monsters, monsters you control can attack your opponent directly. That monster's attack increases, destroy this card. This card cannot be destroyed by other card effects. Also very strong card. Would love to have this one in the TCG. Then limited to 1. Guardian Force. So I think these 2 cards he played out in the first duel. This one in the second, I think. Guardian Force. Activate only while there are no Guardian monsters in your graveyard. Negate the activation of an opponent's spell and destroy it. Also working with that non-monsters in your graveyard engine. Guardian Formation, we see also Kiest, Grawl, and I think this one may be Yados on the artwork. Activate only when you face a Guardian monster you control, select as an attack target, negate the attack and move the monster to an unoccupied monster card zone. And you can activate 1 spell card from your hand or deck. All very strong. Would like to have it this in TCG. Last but not least, Spirit Hunting. Select 1 monster you control, change its battle position, then destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. Also very cool. So this is it. I think these are 40 or maybe 41 cards, something like that. Maybe count myself. Love that deck, guys. It's really, just really cool. I would love to try it also out with the anime cards, along with those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17. 18, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 41. So in his side deck, we have a side deck because there was many cards that he used in the anime, but I didn't put him in. Kishido Spirit, and continuous spell card. I think we saw this in his hand. Monster on your monsters on your side of the field cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster with the same attack stats. Yeah. Rod of the Mind's Eye, we also saw in his hand. Equip spell card. When a monster equipped with this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, the damage becomes 1000 points. So maybe if you... It's a very good card if your opponent loses like 900 or 500 or fewer than 1000 points. But it's very bad if you lose like 3000, then it's like reduced to 1000. It is an up and downside depending on the damage you inflict. Boosting Moral, another of those cards which we saw in his hand. Every time if a player equips 1 monster with an equip spell card, you can increase the life point of the player by 1000 points. Moreover, every time if 1 equip spell card is banished from the field, the player that owned the equip spell card gets 1000 points damage. So also this up and downside right there. Then a card which we saw first by Yamimarek, which was how is it called in English? Spell of Pain, of course. It's an equip spell, a quick spell card. Activate this card only if an effect has been activated that puts effect damage. Puts effect damage on either player. You get no damage at all, and instead your opponent gets the damage that you would have took. Then a card which I would loving to make a goat or goat-ish deck around, but it's not. It's really difficult to play this card in here. But it was one of his essentials. It's Guardian Treasure. I love the artwork. A continuous spell card. Activate this card by discarding 5 cards and then draw 2 cards. While this card is on the field, draw 2 cards instead of 1 for your normal draw during your draw phase. That's why Raffael did draw 2 cards during one each of his draw phases. But it's very difficult to make that because you have to have 5 cards in the deck in your hand, and it's complicated to do that. You can do it at the start, but if you have 6 cards in the start, then you have to then you can do it. But otherwise, it's really it's very not probable that you do. So maybe if you have infinite cards in your deck, but still, it really much gives you a disadvantage. And Rafael also did that 2 times, and the first time he did it, he also said, I put you at a disadvantage. So there we go. Exchange. Of course, both player can take 1 card from the respective player's hands. Well, what he did, he gave the seal of orichalcos to Atem, Then Atem gave him, I think, necromancy, which you still do not have in the TCG. Shame on you, Konami. Orichalcos sword is next up. Orichalcos sword of sealing, with which he sealed, I think, Timaeus. Or was it the dragon? The Dark Magician got the Dragon Master. I don't know. Discard 1 card in the effect of the equipped monster are negated. Any effects that the equipped monster activates when destroyed are also negated. Very cool. Then, on obedience, I think all monsters are shifted. When the monster on the field with the highest attack attacks defense position monster, change the attack target to face up attack position. Yeah. This is an anime exclusive. Another one like the orichalcos sort of sealing. Then we have, last but not least, Nightmare Binding. I love the artwork, guys. It's very perverse. I mean, like, it's, wow, cruel and mysterious. And select one. Just a second, guys. Sorry, guys. Just put it out because always this advertising is going on. And I don't like it. No. Yeah, last but not least, Nightmare Binding. Select one face-up monster your opponent controls, lose 800 attack. Then you gain 800 life points. That monster's effect cannot be activated and cannot be tributed. Very strong effect. Also an anime exclusive. Another card which I added a little bit in the side deck, but I think it fits in the main deck, is Violent Matter. Choose 3 equip spell cards in your graveyard, put them back to the deck, and then you can draw either 1 card or destroy 1 card that your opponent controls. Very strong engine. I would even put this to the main deck, but yeah. So this is it. This is my 41 Raffael deck profile. You might say enemy deck profile because I made a little mix out of cards which are currently existing TCG but also anime exclusives. Still, I intend to make another version. I don't know if I succeed in doing this before Christmas and before the orichalcos arc ends, but I might not, and then you get the second version at a later time, and not in this year. I think then maybe in another year, but maybe even this year. I don't know, because I intend to do next is Dartz. With this deck, and Dartz of course will be an almost complete anime deck. But still, I loved it. I love to build the Raffael deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the subscribe button, show me some love, guys. And stay tuned for more content of this kind. Like I already said, Dartz will be then the last one, and then in the near future there will be another version of a Raffael's deck. But yeah, I might be also then in another arc, or maybe I do it after Duel Monsters completely. I don't know. Yeah, but comment down below if you want to have this Raffael second TCG version very soon, or if you don't. If you do not say anything, I will be doing a very, after my opinion properly, how it it's very much fitting into my timeline, you might say. Personal timeline. Not only anime timeline. So this is it, guys. I hope you guys have a nice good morning, a good midday, a good afternoon, a good evening, and good night, whenever and wherever you witness this one. This is me, your Slifer Maniac, and at least I give you, as always, a big peace.